Talking about Mrs. Daniel Holden Court.
Yeah, Mrs. Daniel Holden Court. Yeah, and then, so what I remember from you guys telling me the stories, you staged a picture of Mom barefoot and pregnant and sweeping at one point, because I remember seeing the pictures.
One of those. There's also one. There's one. Yeah, there's very barefoot and
Now,
pregnant.
you were living in a house, it wasn't 313 Avenue H when you were pregnant with me, and then you moved.
No, we were living in the 313 Avenue H when I was just barely pregnant with you when we moved out of there, out of
Okay.
the other house up to 313.
Oh, I see.
And that's where we brought you home from the hospital. I know I had, because my legs were so swollen, the doctor took me off salt. And I remember my mother bringing me a packet of salt in the hospital. At that time, I loved salt, and I was eating so much of it. And so she showed up with
The thing of salt, so you could eat salt.
And she'd been out celebrating, I think. So.
She brought you the salt off of the edge of her margarita glass.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Okay, I don't know.
We
Anything
had,
else?
it was interesting. We spent up nights making sure that you were breathing. She'd send me in to see if you were still breathing. And you slept across the hall from with the window, with our doors open.
Right.
No baby monitors.
Well, we decided that the first after we got you straightened back out, so you were sleeping at night and not in the daytime. You just made the decision that at 10 o'clock you didn't really want to go to bed. You wanted to stay up. So we got you fed and cleaned up, and you were everything. We put you in there, and you started screaming. Well, I had practically hold him out by the belt. He was going to go in there and make sure she was all right. She's all right. What could be wrong?
Well, I worry about this.
And so,
Murder.
and all of a sudden, right, sort of mid-scream, you went to sleep. And everybody was really scared. Because it was like, oh my God, what happened? That's what it was.
So did your mom stay with you for a while after you came
My
home?
mother stayed with me for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And the day she left, there was this humongous thunderstorm. And then Lynn's folks came and they woke you up. Between the thunderstorm and them coming, you woke up, and I couldn't get you settled back down. So I called my mother, and I was in a panic. What am I going to do? What do I do? And my mother's advice was, go get a big glass of wine and drink it. Relax. It's all right. She'll be fine. Just relax. You're the one that's causing all this. So I got my glass of wine and calmed down, and you calmed down, and
That was that.
that was that. So,
I remember, that we had Christmas at the house, and you could stand up and stand on your head at the same time. Your legs were straight, and your head was flat on the floor.
Oh, I must have been, what, 1 or 2?
yeah, at
Before
least.
that, just barely.
Yeah, walking. And I would show that to everybody. You got pictures of me doing that.
We have pictures of you doing everything. I mean, there's hardly anything we don't have pictures of you doing.
I'm surprised you could recognize my face.
I think
It doesn't have a lens on it.
it doesn't have a
or
lens on it. It's
down?
not really Dad. No.
But there wasn't a lot to remember.
We had Mandy.
Oh, good.
We had Mandy, and we moved in a high school girl.
And
And so we were juggling both ends of the stick at the same time.
Well, Megan's mother.
yeah, Megan's mother.
We moved her in, so the house was full when Mandy came along. But after you were born, I worked only half days. And then when Mandy was born, I took a year off, and I had both of you. So, and then Ann was there, so it was kind of nuts for a while there. Like my house is usual.
So what do you remember about the first year of my life?
What do I remember? Well,
We were successful.
yeah,
You should
you didn't die. You didn't get
Well, you
sick.
didn't drop me on my head or
arrived-
anything.
you arrived on
I
time.
dropped you on the hair. I didn't drop you on the head. You rolled off the bed onto the vacuum cleaner. and bumped your head pretty good.
You did drop me on my head then. Okay.
Well, I guess. Well,
You didn't drop me on my head, Dad, did you?
well, he'd come home from work and lay on the couch and take a nap, and then put you lengthwise on his stomach,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'd both take a nap. So,
And you know, she had no problem at all listening to my heartbeat.
mm.
Mandy did too.
Yeah, Bendy did it too. But Bendy, I can't remember.
Yeah,
It's
you
hard.
have it as a disadvantage, you know.
It was.
There was nothing totally remarkable. We fumbled a lot, and we had to make stuff up a lot.
Read a lot
But
of
we
Dr.
had-
Spock.
But we had a lot of family help,
Yeah.
you know. And then Mrs. Daniel, she knew what to do in every case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you were the first grandchild, and so there was a lot of attention.
There was a village.
Yeah, there really was. I mean, you know, and Grandma Leverton was really good with babies, and so we left you there upon occasion throughout that first year because she loved having you, and she was really good. And then my mother kept showing up, so she was with you a lot. So there's people around all the time. And then Marcia was around too at the time you were born, so we saw Marcia a lot during your first year.
What was the name of the doctor who delivered me? Do you remember?
I want to say that Dr. Layton did, but I'm not sure. I think it was Dr. Layton. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
He's the doctor that we talked to about everything.
He's the one that gave you the advice about wake that child up.
Yes, wake that child up.
Do you live with her? Or
Do you live with her, or does she live with you? Okay, whatever.
What was her first word?
What was her first word?
What were her first words?
It was a sentence. What do you mean?
Yeah, it was an encyclopedia. What do you think first word?
I'm a little talkative.
I don't remember.
I don't remember it.
I have no memory
The
of
first
that.
word.
I remember the first time you walked, somebody filmed you, but I have no idea what happened to the films.
Oh yeah.
There's a film of you first walking.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that part. I don't know what happened to it.
You have a baby book someplace. Didn't
Yeah,
you make a baby book?
there's a baby book, yes.
Yeah,
It
Mandy
some
has
of
it,
that
I
stuff
think.
in it.
We
No, I have
we
it.
probably should have consulted that before this interview.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I know.
We
It
had
just,
there were 4 baby showers altogether.
4 baby showers.
4 baby showers.
One
I
with
had
school, one with
One
family, one with friends, one.
Well, one on each side of the mountain.
Okay.
One at school with the faculty, and then one at school with the kids.
Oh wow, 4 baby showers.
So, yes. And I don't remember having a lot of trouble picking the name Elizabeth because everybody's grandmother was named Elizabeth.
Well,
So
didn't you want
Or
me to
like
name
that,
me Eleanor for
yeah.
a while? I mean,
I was lobbying pretty heavy for Eleanor, but it made sense that it'd be Elizabeth because then you'd be named after everybody. And so, but my mother was not pleased to hear that your middle name was my aunt's middle name.
he was
She didn't
Thelma's.
like
And she was delighted. Thelma was
Thelma's.
just
Yeah.
tickled pink with
Uh-huh.
the fact that your middle name was the same as hers. But now, my mother was Betty, which is a
Derivative.
of Elizabeth. My grandmother was Elizabeth Leverton, and you should see Mandy's face when she looked at her grave. It says Elizabeth Leverton, mother.
It says Elizabeth Marie Leverton.
Yeah, it was my
And
full
it
name.
is all 3 names, and it really wigs me out.
But she,
I-
that was her married name, though. I just saying.
Well, but still, it still wigs me. I mean, you can't look down at your sister's grave, like the
name on this.
the name on a grave with being your sister's name, and not go.
But
And then on your other side,
my grandmother's name
was
Elizabeth.
Mary
well, it
Elizabeth.
covered everybody, and so that's when we arrived at that real quick.
Yeah, it wasn't too difficult.
Did we have
You had
did we have
Grant.
a boy's name?
Was
I don't know if we had a boy's
I don't
name.
remember.
it was
if
Grant?
It was Zach or Grant or something.
Grant or Garth.
Something like that.
Grant. I thought it was Grant.
We were going to use Edward because my father and her father were
So
Edwards.
that are both. We're both
So you can do
So
Grant
it was
Edward.
something. Or,
Yeah. something.
Grant Edward, one of those.
Grant Edward. Mm-hmm.
One of those.
We didn't get to use that, however.
No.
And you saved it for Mandy.
Yeah, when Mandy was turned to come wife, we were all convinced it was going to be a boy. So we hadn't bothered to get a girl's name.
Well,
And
you had to
Then
write
the kids in my annual staff took a
a vote.
vote and said, well,
And the names, they were like Amanda,
Well,
Abigail.
He really wanted Tara. So one of the names was Tara, and I wanted Abigail, so one of the names was Abigail. And then there was Amanda, and there were two others that I cannot recall. But anyway, the kids in the annual staff voted Amanda. So we just said, well, close enough.
it's not going to be a girl anyway. But it did turn out to be a girl, and you know what? That saved my life. And all of a sudden, I didn't have to get a bigger house because they could share the same room.
Hand-me-downs.
Hand-me-down clothes and
And then half the pictures then are Megan are hand-me-down, Ellie hand-me-down, Mandy hand-me-down, Megan.
Sort of went like that, yeah.
It did, a lot of them.
Because she was born in 1980.
Yeah, she
So,
was.
yeah, 5 years younger
She was the
than...
mountain baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we lived there in town, and I think you were older before we moved out into the country. I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah, I was much older.
I remember moving to the country.
Okay, so
yeah.
you guys were older.
Yeah.
But,
I remember playing with Tita when in both houses.
Yeah.
so
So,
that was the first year. I mean,
Well, thank you, guys.
Then the thing is, you ask me, or you ask us what you ate and all that stuff. It isn't any different now than it was then. Anything I put in your mouth. I mean, I'd take the pacifier and I'd swirl it around in raspberry jam, pop.
happy as a
If
clam.
I was having a Coke, I'd swirl it in Coke, pop. You didn't really care.
So I came by that just from the very beginning. I was
Yeah, from the
always...
very beginning. You ate everything we gave you and would have taken more. And Mandy, I'd put it down, Mandy, and she'd throw it up on me. And I'd put it down, Mandy, and she'd throw it up on me. So, anyway.
You didn't prepare them well enough for me.
I clearly did not
No.
prepare them, no.
Well, no, Mandy was a challenge. There's no question in certain things like that.
Yep, that's true.
But in some ways, she was probably less of a challenge because she was number 2. So you knew how to do diapers. You knew how to do.
No, but you have to understand, we knew how to do all those things, but now there's 2 babies to deal with. I mean, you were 2 when she was born.
Right.
Well, it's still a baby.
It's still a
It's not
baby.
even potty
You
trained,
know,
is it?
but I don't remember anything about Ellie's potty training, but I sure remember
Oh,
Mandy's.
so do I.
M&M's. I remember that. I remember getting
It
M&M's.
was M&M's, all it took, and she was praying. That was it. And then she'd be coming out, come see what I did. She'd take us out to the potty train. Just
I
so
want
she-
my M&M.
So she could get an M&M.
Now, you weren't hurt at all. It was just, you had a little potty
Yeah.
chair and,
You were quick with language, and so a person with language could communicate with us.
Yeah.
This is, I need to go. Okay, boom.
Yeah.
so, that was pretty fast. Actually, we put you drinking out of a cup at 6 months, I think, because you didn't ever really have a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So, there weren't really...
That is true.
There weren't really any bottles in the house. There may be a couple of spares just in case, but not really. You were coordinated enough at that time. You had enough dexterity to just grab a hold of a little tippy cup and drink. So there you go. I was hoping that you were dexterous enough to change your own diapers, but that never happened.
Might be asking a little much.
Really, you think?
How does this safety purge work
I don't
again?
remember. I don't remember the diapers being that much of a trauma. They were all cloth. We did
Right.
everything in cloth. But
You had
I
pails?
bet you we didn't buy more than a single pack of Pampers. Only when we went somewhere,
Yeah.
and they were never really satisfactory. I don't.
Didn't use those. It wasn't necessary. I mean, we had the people had given us enough cloth diapers. Well, why, why not use them? So, yeah.
Were most babies cloth diaper
Well,
babies at that
let's say
time?
more babies were cloth diapers than there are now. for sure. But there was a lot of people that used those things because I remember them being in the grocery store.
Right, okay.
So, anyway.
And you know, I think they're healthier. You know, the pop ones are healthier.
They didn't leak?
I'm sure they leaked.
A little bit,
Well, if you neglect them, yes, they're going to leak anything.
yeah. And and with cloth diapers, of course, you have plastic
Covering,
pants, plastic covering
Right.
pants you put on.
right.
So
Like
those,
a shower cap for your butt.
yeah, like a shower cap.
Mm-hmm.
How elegant you are, my dear.
Shower cap for your butt. It's lovely.
So
But you know, neither one of you went on and on. You know how you have 3-year-olds with bottles, you see, and diapers still. No, that
We had
was-
blankies though.
you both had blankies.
We had
You
blankies.
sucked your thumb till I thought I was going to scream. We tried everything. I put red pepper on your thumb. I put something tasted bad on your thumb. It didn't make any difference. You sucked your thumb. And she sucked 2 fingers.
2 fingers for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I thought you were going to go to junior high with that thumb in your mouth. I did.
I was Linus.
Wasn't it the deal?
I don't remember what we did to break her.
It was the deal, wasn't it? She'd stop sucking her thumb if
Dad
Pop
would stop smoking.
Wasn't that the deal?
I don't know that was one of the deals. I don't know if that one ever came through or not.
Dad did stop smoking.
Yes, he did.
But I'm not sure if it was right on.
But, yeah, you were sucking your thumb for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
A long time.
Did she twirl her hair?
I
while
wasn't
she
really
did it?
smoking a whole lot.
No, you were the only one. You did
did that.
You did that, and you played with your spit.
Oh yeah.
I remember these gross
The
things.
thing that happened with smoking, I was doing maybe a pack a week.
Oh yeah.
Is that the price got over 50 cents a pack, and so I didn't want to waste that kind of money.
Mm-hmm. And Mom, you stopped smoking when you got pregnant, right? And, it
And
just
I'd
never started-
already only been smoking like maybe 2 cigarettes a day. I mean, I wasn't really into it at all. And it just, when I got pregnant with you, it just made me so sick to my stomach. I thought I was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
So I obviously couldn't do it. And I really couldn't be around people who were doing it either.
Did you throw up a lot? Do you have a lot of morning sickness?
I had morning sickness for the first 3 months.
But did you
yeah.
throw up, or was it just upset stomach?
It was just really upset stomach. But it wasn't necessarily morning sickness. It came on about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh yeah.
And it would last until maybe dinner time. And I'd be really nauseated. And, saltine crackers. And
So which scar is the cesarean? Is it the one straight across?
no, the one straight across was the baby before you.
The aborted fetus,
Hmm.
right?
And then you and Mandy share the same stripe down the
Down the
middle.
Down the middle. Oh, okay.
And,
So you only just the 2 scars.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, now I've accumulated a few more since then. Last summer, I got 3 more new ones, but, no, that was, they were just afraid that I had gotten pregnant quickly after the first baby was aborted, and they were afraid it would tear me up. And you were so big. I mean,
9
you were
pounds.
9.5 pounds.
Yeah.
And so he was really nervous about that. And so he just said, I think this is what we need to do. So,
Mandy was big too.
She was 8.5.
She was 2 weeks early and still 8.5 pounds.
yeah, she was.
Doctor said, "Well, she's fully cooked."
Yeah.
Come on now. And then they started dictating on what day was going to be good.
Yep.
You design your baby.
But I think you were both born on Wednesdays, weren't you?
I've been Wednesday's child, full of woe. That's all I remember.
Yeah, both your Wednesday's child.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you very
That's all
much.
I remember.
I appreciate.
Now, we have other lucid moments. We might remember stuff.
Yeah. But it's only.
That's good though.
It's not a full stream. It's just the splashes.